Well, good morning people again. We've just shown how to collect the samples, the gas samples into a liquid phase. We can also directly put the gas compounds on a solid phase. And we do that on these type of columns. These are from Supelco and they're LC amino columns and on a reversed phase 18, and they look like this. So we pass an amount of gas over a solid column, an LC amino column, and these columns can also be analyzed on the lab. So in order to sample the gas, we need a needle. We put the needle on top of the column. Now you see it here, it's finished. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to extract the gas from the process. For that we have an automatic syringe unit, and that contains of a glass gas syringe, 100 milliliters, and a automatic sampler, which you also know from hospitals and things like that. I put now the unit, which contains of the column and the needle, onto the sampling line. But we also have a pressure indicator indicating the subpressure once we extract the gas from the line. So what we do now is we take the cap off and we put the syringe into the sampling port, which is over here. So I will open the sampling port by turning this nut, and we have to turn it over several times in order to make it open. There we are. And then we can take out the needle and put the needle into the sampling line like that. And we have to close the nut again in order to have a gas tight connection. So there we are. So we have the whole unit in place. We can record, we have a slight overpressure now from the system, which is about 16 millibars. And then we now will start extracting the gas from the process. So, and if you look like that, you see the subpressure going down. And it will end somewhere around minus 40 millibars subpressure, extracting the gas from the column. So now the gas is passing through the needle and then onto the column, and the gas without the components is passed through the syringe and contained in the syringe. So this will take about 2 minutes. The suction flow is about 50 milliliters per minute. So we then have about 100 milliliters of gas sample. While these amino columns will also go to the organic laboratory again, and there they will flush the columns with dichloromethane and put them in a sampling volume like 1 milliliters of dichloromethane, and the dichloromethane will be analyzed onto a gas chromatography mass spectrometry unit, the GCMS unit, and on the GCMS unit we can determine all the compounds, like all the polyaromatic hydrocarbons, but as well as the dibenzothiophenes, the pyridines, and compounds like that. So we could also do a run for the library search on all unknown components. So we have both a quantitative analysis for the known components, and we have a qualitative analysis for the unknowns, but we can look in the libraries for the different compounds we don't know. So we typically take from each section in the gasifier, we take samples like this. You see, it's very easy, it's very useful. We can take a lot of these samples, much more than we can do with the liquid sampling, because it's not that laborious and that much work. So you can easily take from different sampling points, and it only takes 2 minutes, which is easy. Now, Now you see the 100 milliliters is done, and the pressure is going up again, meaning that the sampling is finished, and it's now back to the pressure from the system. So now the sampling is done. I can take out the needle, and then I can bring it to the laboratory. Thank you very much. Okay, so here's the needle and the column. I have to cap the end of the column like that with a small cap in order to have all the system closed. Now we have to put the label on the needle tip, which I do over there. So I have here the label with the SPA number, with the date and the position, which is after the BTX unit. And now I only have to write down the sampling time, which was 11:48 hours. And then we have the labeled SPA cartridge. So at the laboratory they know the SPA number, the date, the time, and from where it's coming from. And this is one final thing we have to do. We have to put this in the freezer.